welcome to Up to Speed. As you can see in Basking Ridge here, we've got a packed house. Now, we've also got Hans here to join us to provide some updates. Hans, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, and it seems like Work Forward is working. I mean,
Yes.
We have a lot of people here. You and I were planning to have this by our own here, you know. But,
I guess
so
they
we're going to
crashed the
view
show.
here, but we have everybody supporting us from behind. It's so great to see everyone here. It's just an amazing feeling when everybody's in the office here. So it's great.
It is. Now, how's it been going with you?
There's been a lot of things happening lately. Yesterday I spent a full day with investors. I'm not sure. I started with a stage moment, and then I probably met some 50, 60 investors in 4 different settings. If you have done that ever in your life, I guess you haven't yet, you get the same questions actually 4 times, and after a while you don't remember if you have answered them or not, and how you answered. So, but all in all, it was an important day, very important day. There's a lot of things happening in the company, got a lot of challenges, but also a lot of great things. So, of course, that was the main focus of yesterday. So, the main questions coming in from the investors yesterday, I think, first of all, they ask a lot about the network. Yes. They know how important the network is for us. They know that we have the best bloody network in the world, and they want to know the progress on it. So spent a lot of time talking about the C-band, and by coincidence, we had the press release coming out in the middle of the day, where we actually passed 175 million POPs covered with the C-band, ahead again of the plan that we have, and we still are on the plan of having more than 200 million POPs covered in the first quarter. So that was a lot of question around that. And then, of course, they pivot to ask about fixed wireless access. They have seen the great progress we have on national broadband, both in the Verizon Business Group and in the Consumer Group, and how we cope with the capacity, where are the customers coming from. Of course, the cable industry is feeling the pressure coming from us a lot in this area. So a lot of question around that. And then, of course, coming into Verizon Consumer Group and the wireless business, a lot of questions around that, and that was also the day yesterday that we did the changes in the leadership of Verizon Consumer Group. So a lot of questions about the reason for that, and also if we're changing strategy, if we go somewhere else with it. I think that my answer was very clear. I mean, number one, you know, we came in the second quarter with a weak March in the consumer wireless. We took a lot of actions in the second quarter, still very disappointing second quarter. The market was very disappointing with us. Ourselves was very disappointing. Then we saw a lot of those things were actually changed, segmented much better in the marketplace, both in the prepaid and the postpaid. Started getting traction coming in the third quarter, and actually had some good momentum there. But for the ones that remember, and these guys always remember, I told everyone also after the third quarter, good progress, but we have a lot more to do. We're not satisfied yet. So I think that was the story about why we now take the next step, both that I take the action to leading Verizon Consumer Group in this time. And it's not about that we're changing the strategy. I think I just want to update or bring up the speed, revitalize the whole organization, and see that we continue to do what we do, but even faster. We need to be quicker because competition is good. And I also told the market, because there was a lot of question about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all these American fantastic holidays you have, and how we were progressing. And basically my answer was we were still tracking towards the plan we have for the fourth quarter, where we actually have a focus in the consumer wireless to have positive net adds. But there are some challenges. There are some shoppiness in supply, as we say. I mean, there's one big handset manufacturer that has some challenges. So besides that, I think we're tracking in the right way. So a lot of questions around that. I think that was the day. And the questions were basically 100 of them, but they basically came down in these 3 buckets all the time.
Okay. Well, sounds like you covered a lot with the investors.
Yeah, this was a summary of sort of 18 hours yesterday down to 5. But yeah, of course, the market is very curious what we're doing. They know our strength, they know our strength in our product, and also the execution capabilities we have. So they want to know how we are progressing.
Yeah, well, you mentioned our network, and I'm actually really happy to say that we just wrapped talking to Kyle Milady about our network. So we'll have that.
So what did he say?
He said a lot of good things.
I said
he
good
said a
thing,
lot of
okay,
good things.
Good.
We gotta wait until Up to Speed airs. We can't spill the beans yet, but I'm excited. I know that we're moving in the right direction there. So thank you for being transparent there. Any other business updates that you want to talk about?
I think that we are. I think it's 22 days or 21 days.
25?
25 and the end of the year or whatever it is. I think it's extremely important that we continue to have the focus in all the groups. We want to finish this year strong. We have clear plans, what we want to do and what we need to execute on in every organization. So, and we want to come into 23 with a strong plan and coming out from 22 good. So I think that the priorities are very clear. I mean, we want to continue to take the leadership in the postpaid business. We want to see that national broadband is a fundamental growth engine for us. We want to see that the value segment with TracFone and all other brands is really being a growth engine for us as well. And finally, I mean, we need to remember Verizon Business Group with the wireless business and the fixed wireless business doing really well. And then on top of that, the transformation program that so many people are working with that is so important for the success of the company. That's encapsulate what we need to do in 23, what we need to do now. So it's more about execution, doing it quicker, and especially on the consumer side, what we have been talking a lot about, and I know the whole leadership team, all the team around Verizon Consumer Group are focused on the segmentation on the market, see that the consumer get the right service, the right product, the right offerings in the different segments. Remember, we're covering all segments of this market, all the way for the governmental subsidized wireless plan to the ultra premium plans. And there's very different demands, both on service and products. What we need to be better on in this market is actually segment that market, getting the right offering. And I think that the whole team is very, very focused on that. I will be there to support the Verizon Consumer Group management team and all the directors and leaders to really bring that forward. So I'm excited over that. I'm excited that I'm now working even more with Verizon Consumer Group. So it's going to be great.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. We're moving forward.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Any final thoughts, Hans?
I think the final thoughts is going to the holiday season, but don't rest yet. That's sort of an important message. I think that we're all coming from a challenging year, not only because we have some challenges, it's also an economical backdrop of the whole economy and a lot of things happening, interest rates coming up, inflation is coming up. I think it's time for some peace and some rest during the holidays. We just need to finish the year first, but I wish everyone, all the V-teamers that have the chance to recover, get some energy from friends, colleagues, family. That's important to all of us because we need to have that balance to be really strong at work, to be in with the family, to get that energy. So that's sort of a main message to all the V-teamers. Take the time. Remember to finish the year strong first, and then you take the time. That's a sort of the priority and the order as well. I definitely want to prioritize delivering the year first and setting us up for a great 23. Then I will take some time, but not before that.
Okay. Remember the order, everybody.
Hey, remember the order. It was very clear for these people. They listen.
Yes. Heard a little chuckle back there. Well, Hans, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure, as always, to have you on Up to Speed.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, everybody viewing there. And thank you, everyone here in Basking Ridge.
Thank you, everyone. Until next time, you're Up to Speed.